Good evening, everybody.
Recording
Welcome.
in progress.
Now I can say it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Highgate Selectboard meeting for May 2nd, 2024. We can start first order of business. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, first we got public comment.
Comment. Did you say comment?
Public comment. Normally we start with Sue, but she's
Nobody's complained to me.
really.
I'm giving,
Everything's perfect at Highgate?
well, not perfect, but nobody's complained to me lately, so otherwise you would have heard.
All right.
I'm giving you guys a break.
Well, we'll miss your comments.
There's really that much, not really
Okay.
that much, nobody's really complained. One thing, if you want me to complain, my road on Monument, I just wanna know what's gonna be done for winter. That's one of my concerns down there, 'cause the road is really, really bad.
I think we addressed that in a meeting or two, didn't we?
Yeah,
She mentioned it before.
Okay.
yeah.
I want you guys to take care of Sue.
What's that?
I want you guys to take care of Sue.
Oh, we're good. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, well, thank you, Sue.
So Ferdinand's here for the Franklin County Field Days.
All right.
I'm Fernando on here, Franklin County Field Days,
Hello, sir.
and I got good news for everybody. We're asked to move from the airport road 2 years ago to find a new location. And it's been very hard finding a location to replace that site. But this week, past couple of weeks, we've been working on the Cassidy property, Dick Cassidy's farm, just outside of town on Gore Road. So we made an offer on that property, and we're hoping to move forward with it. And that's great news for Field Days and everybody from Franklin County.
Good deal.
I thought I'd share that good news with you folks, but it's not done yet, but it's in the
It's
works.
in the process.
Okay.
So.
When
Any
you-
questions?
When do you think you're gonna answer back?
Say again?
When do you think you're gonna answer back on your offer?
This is in a couple of weeks, yeah.
Okay.
We made a good offer. It's pretty much what they were looking for, so I don't see any issues. And I'm sure Dick Cassidy, did you know Dick Cassidy?
I did not.
He's a farmer, and he would have been thrilled to have the field days there, because every year he had a field day. It's too bad he, couldn't come back and just.
Yeah. I'm sure he's watching.
Yeah, so, he's a nice guy, Dick Cassidy.
He's
Have
really
you,
good.
have you been in contact with any of the budding neighbors?
Yep,
Okay.
Keith, you talked to
We've
Mrs.
been-
Vesper now?
Yeah, my Keith Lou, we've been in contact, I'm on the board with Ferdinand.
Yep.
We've been in contact with neighbors, pretty much all agreeable. Their biggest concern was somebody going on their property and stealing stuff. But in our agreement, we have to put a fence around the whole thing. And we are looking at cameras, we're not 100% sure yet, but.
And I spoke with Georgette Roddy, and she's all great, she said, I won't have to go to a beer in my backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Good deal. No free parking for her.
yeah, Georgette's pretty happy about it.
There is a well on site,
Yep.
that's approximately 35 gallons a minute.
35,
Is it 35 you said, you told us?
there's
one day?
plenty of water.
Yeah, 35 gallons a minute.
And
Yeah.
Georgette's biggest concern was that if she had heard that housing was gonna buy it,
Mm.
They're gonna put like 15 houses in there. That was, she didn't care about that, but now with the field there, wonderful, nobody's living there, so I think that's a plus too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although the field day doesn't pay property tax, so unfortunately,
How many acres round about
they're 30.
there?
30, we're lucky enough, the Vermont Electric Co-op owned land adjacent to it, and they would let us park our cars on their land. Yeah, so that's a big plus there too.
What's gonna happen to the existing buildings where you're
Over
at
there?
now?
We're
Yeah.
gonna try and move what we can, but the V-Train said, whatever you don't move, we're gonna bulldoze. So, they're very nice to us.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's a lot of little parts around.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I
They're
wish you
very
luck.
nice to us.
Sounds like a good spot. The neighbors seem happy, so that's good.
I think all the neighbors, I think it's a big plus. It brings a lot of liveliness to the town,
Yeah.
It's gonna be very lively.
Yeah.
for a whole week.
That would bring some business to the businesses here in town, which normally wouldn't get it too, so.
Businesses will prosper from this. Even, people who have lawn sales and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
put it out and people stop in because there's so many people. And, I think it'd be great.
Good deal. Good to hear.
I'm very excited.
Does that property include the old bushy house up there?
It's
No.
it's the first field outside of town.
Right, you know where the Hershey house is?
Yeah.
Well, it's behind it.
Oh, okay, it goes
Yeah.
out and then
You know,
patches.
the wood line, so you go from the wood line to the woods,
Yeah,
Okay.
then you go back to the woods. It goes into the woods a little bit, right, Ferdinand?
Yeah.
Goes into the woods a little bit, which is that one spot.
Bring it up to today's standards, what's the Bushy house, who lives there now?
Last one.
That's the last
when
one.
I was living in the village,
It was a bushy.
it was the bushy house.
It was the Bush's house, yes. The rural Highgate people, it's a bushy house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And Dick Cassidy would be thrilled if he was alive.
We would,
Oh, he'd be thrilled.
We're gonna name it something Dick Cassidy.
we might include his name in that song, you know.
It should be.
Can you just show me real quick? There. I think I did the right area. That parcel, okay.
And then this part should belong to, this part should belong to,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna, not the,
Nope,
I
that's.
saw a lot of parking, and then the school owner across the road there. I don't know if we didn't dare ask if we could park there maybe, a couple days ago.
I just didn't.
Okay,
Maybe.
we'll consider that on request.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have enough parking, because, right now we have 60 acres at the airport, and these combined equal 60 acres, so.
Okay.
And
It's awesome.
this will be arranged a little bit different than I wanted in Swanton, because, you know, when the fair started 40 years ago down in Swanton, you started off with one building, and then you need another one. It was never really planned, you know? It was just as you needed something, it was built. So, consequently, some places, you know, there's a lot of rock and like the horses shouldn't be near the polo track, you know, because it's, you know, too loud. So, things will be planned out a little different when doing the whole fairground.
Quick question, Ferdinand. Speaking of the the horses getting spooked, will all of your events still be the same? Like the tractor pulls and the truck pulls are pretty loud.
Oh, they're gonna have even louder ones.
That's what I mean. Right in town.
But you know, if you think about it, the Malone Fair is right in the middle of town.
True.
The Essex Fair is right in the middle of Essex. The Rutland Fair is the middle of the Rutland. And all these pulling tractors that come to our fair go to all those fairs. So it's something that, I think everybody gets used to it, you know. Nobody wants to live in a boring society, so this livens up everything.
And it's only for 2 or 3 days.
It's only for a couple days.
It's
right?
only
It's, yeah, it's 2 big nights. The demolition derby night isn't that loud, and they get done fairly early.
Yeah. The truck pulls, I think, is
The
the
truck
loudest
pulls.
and longest night.
I can hear them from my house, and I'm 6 miles away.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, if you're right here in town, you're gonna hear them really good. You ain't gonna need a speaker.
no.
So, in your thoughts, the main parking entrance will be off of 78, not the Gore?
We're gonna try and get it on 78. And
We've gotta work with V-Trans for that too, but
We've gotta work with V-Trans with that. We've gotta act with, state IQ50 people. I mean, we've got a long ways to go yet.
Right.
None of it's gonna be any fun, so if you wanna join us, you're more than welcome.
So that would be accessing after the rail trail and before Lucier's.
Right. Right, yeah. And I talked to Bill about it, he's okay with it, he's happy. So, great.
Is there like something we can pull up for people that are not
Well,
like
are we
familiar
gonna
with
have more
exactly?
meetings on this, cause this wasn't even a warned
No,
discussion.
this is
Oh,
just
So,
a 3-minute comment.
Yeah, 3
it's
minutes.
supposed to be,
Right. Yeah.
I just feel to be fair,
Yeah.
the community didn't know we were gonna be talking about this.
Oh, more, okay. So we can,
We don't need to nix it, I'm just saying it's not warned.
We will definitely be readdressing this, and we'll have maps, so you'll be able to see what he just showed me. Yeah. as he gets plans, we'll expect the plans too, so.
Very good. No more
Any other questions?
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.
So we're inviting you to come back for.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
So-
definitely.
Can you see me?
This side of the road, yes.
Ferdinand's trying to wave to you, Kyle.
His eyes open again.
Kyle. There we
There
go.
you go.
You know, I had my back to him and never thought of it. Here, Kyle. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, sir. All right, next we got, a Bell's Food Truck. There we go, hello.
So I'm Jeff LaBelle, so my wife Teresa LaBelle. We're trying to open a food truck. We've been working on it for a few years now. We finally got it at home and almost completed. But some of these laws and rules in the Highgate packet, we would like to see if we can adjust or amend or however that works. Right now, the cost is $25 per day, where every other town is a blanket permit, a set price for the year. And then they don't have so many restrictions, like St. Albans is, you can park anywhere you want, if it's public, if it's private property. And then if you wanna park on their property, you just call, get permission, it goes on schedule, and you go on, making sure it's not used. Where there's 6 pages of restrictions in a little tiny town of Highgate. And we live in Highgate, and we're also doing, part of our program is we're giving $1 per plate back to the Highgate Fire Department as a donation. So we're hoping that maybe we could amend some of the rules in here somehow, or give us the steps to take to start amending some of the rules, change them. I don't know when they were done, but I'm assuming they were a long time ago.
No, nope, wasn't too bad.
Wasn't too long.
Says it right
was
on that stamp on the top of the page.
Yeah,
2021.
21,
Yeah.
by 1821.
Well,
We rewrote them because I can't remember, Mr. Pickle,
yeah,
he came in because he wanted to set up during COVID,
yeah.
and we hadn't amended them, I think, since the Grateful Dead
So
concert.
that's what I said. I think
So-
they're way back, but they're just standing
Yeah.
like, hey, we did them, you know?
So we did our homework, and I think we grabbed a bunch of other towns, the best of what we thought was the best stuff, and threw it in
Yes,
there.
so Swan is currently working on a new one right now. We'll be attending that one as well. They're actually thinking about mimicking St. Albans because they don't really have anything in place for the park itself. You can get up, I think they're talking $75 as well.
$50 to $75 for the calendar
And then
year.
if you use a meter, that's what they're trying to decipher right now is if we use their meter in the park, how each vendor will pay for it. Whether they're gonna put meters on the box or charge a flat rate.
Okay.
So they're still working on that. I think theirs is the
The
13th.
13th.
But for the town of Highgate, it would be nice if we could amend or change some of the rules. I mean, even just being able to set up in a convenient, I get it should be like rules, so like if somebody's at home, it's a bad intersection, you need parking, I get that, like, those are fine. But like, there's a few in here for like, you can't be open when somebody else is open, you can't be at a private facility, I mean, you can't use a pull-off, and then the fee itself per day. And we also think it'll bring in a lot of good for the town as well. I don't think we're gonna be the only one when we get this done, you know, there's other people out there, so if we could bring this in, I know you guys are bringing in the water line, you're bringing in a 55 community, to have food and options in the town is good as well. Especially, I think it's 55 and up, right, so it's easy to walk to, especially if we can do some stuff in the town.
We don't want to go to other towns, we want to be here in
Right.
Highgate.
We're trying.
Yeah, and plus the donation for the Highgate is to honor Logan. So we definitely want to keep here, but it's just a little bit challenging, so that's why we wanted to come here tonight to see what we can do to bring food and something more, just like Ferdinand said, you know,
Yeah.
people don't want to live in a boring town. We have nothing besides Jolly here to eat. We're not cooking, nothing fried foods, it's all home cooked meals. And we already run and operate a business. This is a hobby, this is a side business, so this is not going to be 7 days a week. We are able to be open year round. We have a generator, propane. We can set up in the winter, so that's another option too. So that's why we're looking at something for a calendar year blanket. I know I talked to Sharon about setting up in the parking lot here, but
I believe we couldn't for a reason. we couldn't be set up for this weekend, correct?
Because we needed to talk about it now, and we
Yeah,
had
I didn't have a permit.
Right, so getting the permit, and then obviously that blanket permit allows some kind of scheduling, so hey, Sharon, can I set up such and such here, what are your dates available type deal? Something a little simpler than having to come in and apply every single time.
Yeah, I don't think the intent was to make you have to come to every one of our meetings to ask to set up for the following week.
Yeah.
That was not the intent at all for anybody.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I haven't read this in a while. I mean, even though we haven't read it 3 years ago, you guys are the first ones to come in since, what's Mr. Pickle's name?
The donut lady is just here.
You
Gary.
then you also have Aubrey,
Yeah,
you also have Aubrey that does the
Yep.
food.
if you, I'm willing, if you got good ideas to make this more user-friendly for your business, if you wanna shoot an email off to Sharon with your proposals
Okay.
for any changes to this, that would
So
make it,
we can take this one, just adjust it, and then kind of submit it back?
well, it's not that easy.
No, I gives you a template at least?
Yeah, use a template, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you something here to make it more business-friendly.
Okay, well, I mean, as far as permits go now, it's by the day, and we apply, how soon in advance do you have to apply for these permits? Because it is not very clear in here. I thought it would be the day of type deal.
You kind of told MJ, the donut lady, that if she was set up, then she could kind of keep track and pay you or us
Exactly.
after the fact.
And then the health department also requires a certain amount of time, that's on you to
So,
get with them.
See,
so we
15.
spoke with the health department about it, not necessarily inaccurate, but what they told us is that we can set up and they pop in. So if I set up for the town has to tell the health department, some money probably, that you're here, and then that just tells them where we are so they can come check in, it doesn't mean they're gonna check in. And then
They
as
do.
far, pardon?
They
Yeah,
have.
Oh,
yeah, we just did ours is it's not the state of the art, it's all stainless steel, we just passed ours.
brand new.
It's brand new. And then as far as public goes, like the 78 pull-off and stuff, that's still Highgate, so your rules say I can't even use that, but St. Albans, Elbert, Swan, we can just pull off any pull-off and use them according to their rules. So we'd like to change that as well, so.
There's a fire hydrant there.
Correct, on that one, yeah.
So,
So that one is an issue, so that'd be kind of the clause you put in, just blocking fire hydrants, or if it does, it's not a great, it was a bad example, I mean, it's on a hill anyways, it's not.
we understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I was just trying to give you the point.
Yeah.
From what I'm seeing on here, section 9.1, you're asking about how many days prior?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't see it any
yeah,
days prior, it says within 15 days, we have to make a decision.
which, yeah, that's.
Within 15 days, it doesn't mean we have to wait 15 days.
That's long.
I'd
Yeah.
have to have 24 hours to make sure that we got our stuff to the health department,
Right.
Okay.
just so that.
Usually we can just email that.
Correct. And you could even put it in there as, like, if you wanted to take the work off, and we submit it, and then just forward you a copy that we submitted and told them where we're going for that location.
Okay.
I mean, they're super simple to work with. I mean,
Yeah.
like that gentleman that we worked with, I mean, he was really simple. I mean, he knew his stuff. Like,
And he lives in.
he lives in Franklin, so.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we
So
know who
he's,
he is.
okay, yeah.
Nice guy.
So you also have to report when you're set up and where you are.
No, we don't, but I was trying to save the
Oh.
town to work with the insurance, they said 24 hours, so I'm like, hey, we can submit, tell them where we are, and then we have approval, and then just forward the email directly to you saying that they're in a knowledge of where we are. I mean, we can adjust this in many ways, so it doesn't have to workload to anybody else.
I like that. Yeah, go ahead and put down whatever suggestions you got on there, and
Okay,
be glad to work with it.
and then we submit it back, and then do we attend another board meeting, or do you guys approve it yourself, and then,
Yeah, we'll have to probably, we talk about it tonight, you submit that sometime this week, by the next meeting, we'll be able to review it, and then we can vote on it.
absolutely.
When is your next meeting?
Yeah,
60s.
16th.
So in the meantime, what do we do as far as getting set up in your town? And I know you're saying 15 days, but can we do it in 24 hours?
Oh, are you looking to set up like tomorrow or something?
I'm ready now.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready for the rec center. That's the problem we're having right now, is getting into town because it takes too long to book. Like, so something else pops up, you wanna go to a wedding, or we just can't lock anything in because it takes too long to do it.
Okay.
I think you'll have to get back to them.
Okay.
It'll have to be one as a public notice, right, to change the policy.
Yeah, to change the
Right.
ordinance, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
To start.
Yeah,
Cool.
it is.
Anything else?
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Coming.
you.
And taking the load off of us. A little bit here and there.
Do
Appreciate it.
you have your permit application and your,
So I have everything, I
Insurance
just
and
didn't
all of
know, and someone can make copies because I didn't know. I did know, but I didn't know because everything,
We brought everything for you.
we brought everything.
Menu,
Any copies I can, so Sharon doesn't.
I mean,
have to go.
permits, the 7 that we have, the water,
I
everything.
don't know.
Yep.
Our T's are crossed, our I's are dotted for you.
That's what the state likes. Everybody. All right. Next up, we got the Tannerite complaint. Yep. Hello. I don't know you guys, so.
Tyler Johnson, live on McLaughlin Drive.
Hello.
So we've been having issues lately with explosions happening on the other side of 78, right near our house, to the point where it actually shakes our house. We called for state police. They said they couldn't help us.
They said there's not much they can do, it's not a legal product.
But we're actually dealing with explosions and like bombs.
So I could actually jump, I didn't know they were here tonight, but
Yeah.
I'll jump on this one. So
Our neighbor.
I live on, I'm their neighbors, I live on the same one, and, I kinda went out and spoke my piece with that gentleman. I was on the couch and my front low window that we just installed shook and I thought it was gonna crack.
Yeah.
I dealt with the first 2 explosions, small ones, and then the bigger one really shook our house. And then they shoot weapons off the bank over, and there's no backdrop.
Yeah, towards me.
It goes towards over top of the river. I mean, it's excessive.
But we were wondering if there could be some kind of like, so this is a particular person, but we're also seeing like incidents in the news.
Well, I've also
across
heard
from them.
behind our house towards Franklin, I've also heard explosions, but they're not close enough to actually feel or anything.
So we wanted to figure out like how do you kind of introduce the idea of starting to, I don't know, regulate or
Are these?
noise ordinance.
Do you know what this person is shooting to make the? Is he shooting to make the explosions?
Correct,
So
so
we
they have
believe
to-
that it's a product called Tannerite.
Tannerite, right? Correct.
And I believe that he's using way too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's pretty. It's like you can feel.
And I've been in touch with the owner of the company that makes Tannerite, and I'm actually waiting to hear back from him. He's looking to speak with the FBI to see if there's any new updates and information for me to know what we can do about it.
Yeah, the owner wants to send a letter to that person just to say like, hey, you're using my product wrong.
Have you guys, any of you approached the person doing this?
Not more or less like across the road.
Let's just say that I did not go across the road at that particular time.
No, not at that time.
Okay.
We haven't even met this neighbor yet.
Yes, he moved in, it started with fireworks, 3 days, 4 days a week in the middle of the night. And then it just escalated from there into the explosions and the gunfires, and then kids shooting TikToks and drones, and, I mean, that's basically what it is these young guys out there, and dad wants to be cool and wants to do it.
And currently, we don't really have anything that could, or that I know of, that could kind of ordinance it or.
We don't.
And as we grow, I think it could be something.
What
Is this-
time of the day?
Yeah, what time of day?
Like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Is it daily, every, or
It was
random?
2 on a Wednesday, 1 on a Friday. It's not really consistent.
The gunfire.
And that's the problem. We can't really get proof because we don't know when they're gonna do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you hear the bomb and you're like, oh, maybe I can get a video. And it's
Yeah. Okay. So we did get, I got a heads up on this, and we got some connections. I did call a friend at ATF. He told me that the Tannerite is a completely legal product when used in a legal way. Used in a legal way is it's meant to be shot. And it comes in different sizes. I don't know if you guys, it sounds like you looked into it. So anywhere from a golf ball size up to something like this, football size. And of course, the bigger the block, the bigger the
It's
explosion.
also improperly used right from the beginning because it's for long range target practice, not for shooting in your backyard.
Correct.
Yeah, this person's quite close to 78. Like
Yeah,
their
I
house
saw
is
that.
right on.
The powder explosion around it was 8 to 10 feet.
So long story short, the ATF told me it's a legal product, and unless it's being illegally used, illegal in their mind is if he's taking smaller ones and lumping them together like Play-Doh, like C4 explosive, and making a big thing, they can't do that. But if they're shooting at them the way they're intended to be used, there's nothing they can do. I also contacted St. Albans PD for the state and local aspect on this. They've had to deal with it. In fact, the officer I talked to, he had to deal with it personally with one of his neighbors. Went and had a conversation that ended it there. I don't know if this person's reasonable. Hopefully he is. If
Well,
you
we're
do
hearing
get
it
to go talk to him, but
around us. So I think it's becoming popular, basically.
yeah.
I don't know if we can start thinking about ordinances for noise, or at least like we live in Highgate. We're used to
Right.
gunshots, but these are explosions.
So there's a statewide ordinance from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's supposed to be quiet. That's statewide quiet hours. And I think we looked at this a while back.
Yeah.
We can't make it more restrictive than what the state did. So from 10 to 6 should be no noise. I did talk to the town attorney today and brought this up as to what options we might have as a town, you might have as a neighbor, other than talking to your neighbor and trying to work something out. The only option he knew of was a nuisance civil suit, which can be done either by you two or a group of neighbors, everybody that's affected. The other option is the town can file a nuisance if this keeps on going, a nuisance civil suit against the person if it keeps
I
on
mean, I
going.
was pretty aggressive when I came outside, I'm not gonna lie, I kinda spoke the piece out loud.
Yeah.
Distance, I have not heard anything since that day, so they might have been,
Gunshot.
yeah, I might have been at work, but I have not heard anything since then.
The other option is Mr. Ben Lowell here found something in the Vermont statutes today, which I'll let you brief, please.
Sure, so,
And thank you for looking into this.
state statute kind of defines tannerite as fireworks. So the definition as used in the subchapter, the term firework means any combustible or explosive composition or any substance or combination of substance or article prepared for the purpose of producing a visible or an audible effect by combustion. That seems like that falls under that definition. So there is a permitting process for fireworks.
I actually called the fire department and they said that they don't give out permits for fireworks. This is our fire department.
Yeah, we
that
don't.
told me that.
So that's a
So
permitting
So how
process
can they do
through
it if there's no
ATF.
permit?
But who comes if they're not permitted? Because we also called, was it the fire person?
Be the fire marshal, I think, right? State fire
State
marshal.
fire
I feel
marshal.
like
Yeah.
we need to pay them a visit at least, cause they've gotten a complaint from me. We have evidence, or well, not evidence, but we have multiple witnesses to this.
Have you contacted the state fire marshal?
No, I haven't.
That might be your next step.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they would have the authority from what we were reading in there.
Yeah.
Knocking the door might go a long way.
There is one that looks local, but you still have to call the regional office and they will assign one to you.
Thank you.
Is it close?
Really good question. I just have a question.
Go ahead,
Do you think that someone from the town, I don't know who this person is, but just trying to talk to this person, that we might be able to convince them to tone it down a lot?
Yeah, one of us could go over.
I would be more than happy to go to talk to this person. And just have a talk with him. And just explain to him that, everybody likes to have fun, but this is really affecting his neighbors. And we don't want this to go any farther than what it is. We don't want lawyers involved and stuff. And if he would kindly just back it down, maybe it won't work, but I would be more than willing to give it a shot.
I'll go with it.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Conversation.
I appreciate
Yeah.
Just need to know
We can do
who
that.
that is, so.
Yep. Yeah, we can do
We don't have their name, we can provide their address.
It's Brad Shed, I think is the person that owns the house.
It's the oldie trailer on the right hand side of 78 after you pass the.
After
Ain't that much
after our road.
Oh, that's right.
They don't have much
I
land
know.
to go out
No.
there.
He hasn't been there long.
No,
just moved in.
And he's taking all the trees off of his property.
What is that
Slides.
shame about?
More slides.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is keeping that bank.
You're welcome.
If it rolls off, I want more explosions.
We'll let you know when we go over and talk to the gentleman,
Thank you.
see if we can work something out. Alright, anything else? Oh, alright, well, thanks for coming, appreciate it.
So I do have
Yeah.
telephone number for, you as well, so we can let you know.
Scott Bissett is here?
No.
No, okay. Alright, so moving along here, we got proposed zoning fee changes.
I got a public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It was brought to my attention again by a landowner on
Lampton Street, the corner, the far end, you're gonna lose the road soon on the last corner going around. I call it like
Going east.
Oh, like Carol Ann,
Yeah, the roads, mailbox is almost gone from the road, and, it's undermining it again, so, I don't know.
By your brother's?
Yeah, break up, yeah, his driveway's starting to break up now, so it's undermining pretty good, so.
What's doing to undermine water or is it a slide?
It's a steep bank,
Slide.
yes, yeah. So,
Okay.
I don't know if people wanna have Nick look at it next week or something, but just,
Absolutely.
I told him I would bring it up, so you guys can,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
What else you got there?
that's all I got this time around.
All right. Good deal. Appreciate it. Any more public comment? Okay. Down to proposed zoning fee changes. I have them here somewhere. Here we go. So, like everything else, I don't think anything went down, everything went up a little bit. So I'm just gonna read these off for everybody to be aware of. So these are proposed for May 24. The last time we did an amendment was June of 2016. So for residential, we got additions to accessory structures less than 500 square feet. It is now $75. Additions and accessory structures more than 500 feet is $150. New or replacement house or mobile home under 1,000 square feet is $200 plus 20 cents a square foot. New or replacement house or mobile home over 1,000 square feet, $200 plus 20 cents a square foot. Home occupation and sign, $80. Change of use, $80. ADA access ramp permit, no charge. Permits for nonprofits, no charge. For commercial, we got construction less than 10,000 square feet is $400. Construction more than 10,000 square feet, $750. Signs are $150. For agriculture, we got a driveway permit, $100. And under the DRB certificate of approved location, $100. Layer of compliance is $50. Conditional use is $200. Site plan is $200. Variance is $200. Boundary line adjustments, $300. Minor subdivision of 1 to 3 lots is $500. Major subdivision 4 to 9 lots, $1,000. Major subdivision 10 or more lots, $2,000. The recording fees, these keep going up. Mylar is $25 and documents per page are $15.
Those aren't changing.
No?
Those are the same.
Something stay the same? All right.
Those are set by the state.
All right. So that's what we got for zoning fee changes. ATV ordinance change is the next thing. Is anybody here for that?
Yeah, that's just to say, to add the access to fuel,
The gas
like
station.
down the St. Armor Road. Sorry about that, Todd.
I know this is just temporary and you're gonna look at it again in June, I believe you guys decided. At that time, I would recommend you, look at Swanton's ordinance. I feel our ordinance, what we added, put too much of the rulemaking on the VASTA and not on the town of Highgate. Swanton's has added hours of operation that they allow, time of year that they allow, the definition of an operator, meaning that anybody that's 16 or older that holds a valid driver's license. There's a few things on there that I think would really benefit town of Highgate.
Okay.
I think right now, the way it reads is, you're gonna get a little bit of free-for-all, because the rules aren't defined, other than at the VASTA level.
They just, do you know when they wrote theirs? Theirs wasn't too long.
Theirs was, I believe, 2 years ago, I actually got it right here, I don't know if it says when it was adopted or not, but.
No, that's a good call. We definitely review that.
June 7th, 2022 is when they adopted theirs.
And there has been a question brought up of why the select board wants, VASA decal. Why do they need to have that?
Why do we want it?
Yeah.
To show that
Shows that they're responsible.
they're
for it.
responsible, part of the club, that obeys the rules.
If they have a VASA decal, does that mean they're insured, registered,
Yes.
provided
all
for
that,
all that
absolutely.
stuff? Well, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I just purchased one in order to get all my insurance and everything, I had to belong to a club.
All
Yeah,
right.
you
I had to
did.
belong to VASA.
Yeah,
How much is VASA membership?
$75 a year. Well worth it too.
Yeah.
They give you all kinds of land and what you kind of get.
You can't ride their trails without being a member, right?
Right.
Correct.
So, why wouldn't you want the sticker?
Right.
And I do have a comment if Ty's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's not my comment, my brother wanted to be here and he couldn't. There's been a lot of ATV activity on the rail trail. I know it's gonna, like Ty said, it's gonna be readdressed in June, opening up all the roads, and, at this point, he feels his children are safer if the roads are open than if they're in the backyard on the rail trail. So, there was quite the scuttle last week, and it didn't end well, but anyway.
First I heard of that.
They're back on the rail trails.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
And what are you gonna do about it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
basically, oh, a nice car in the driveway. So,
Yeah.
for fear of retaliation,
Gotcha. Okay.
I know Paulette had other reasons, Paulette Unwin had other reasons for all of the roads being open. I think my brother's point of view is you can't even have your children in the backyard
Yeah.
playing safely. And you can't be walking or biking on it either. You can't walk a dog.
Yeah, it's a rail trail. It's meant
It's
for
a rail
walking
trail.
and biking and not ATVs, just to be
So-
clear. The other thing to be clear, in case somebody watching, we don't have all the roads open yet in town. Highgate. They're not open yet. We're gonna make that decision, I think, June 20th.
June 20th.
Yeah, so, anybody who still wants to comment on the possibly opening, the roads, please, write to Sharon or come to the meeting. We'd like to hear from you. Anybody else? All right, thank you. Kevin, you're up.
That's me.
Oh, that counts.
Just wanted to, well, I'm here for another reason too, but I wanted to let you know that what we're proposing to do this year, we want to run a fence from the sign all the way around this cemetery to finish it up. The same as what's on the other end. And instead of putting a fence in the front, we've decided that you got the ditch there, it's better to, look in from the 78 and not see a chain link fence there. But we are gonna put up a couple gates where the drives are so that we can lock them off from November 1st to April 1st. And that way we won't have any through traffic or anything going on out there. We've got a lot of stonework. I don't know why it was a warmer winter, but it seemed like we had a lot of damage this year. Champlain Monuments they're gonna be starting to do the one up on Sherwood, which is up on the Gore Road. And when they get done there, I gotta get with Jeff and we gotta go around and fix as many as we can this year. It's just, I know that, St. John's and Highgate Falls has some issues. Up in East Highgate, we've got some issues with stones. I think there's still some more out here. They're finding that over the years, I think we fixed 40 to 50 last year out here, and a lot of them, they didn't even know they were there. They'd fallen over, and years ago, whoever was mowing the lawn just kept going over the top of them. And so we did, I think 40 or 45 out there last year, and we probably got another 20, 25 to do. But we're just gonna go and do what we can, what our budget allows. That's all we can do each year. And we don't want our cemeteries here to look like the one that's over on 105 before the Fisher Pond Road, or the one up Rice Hill on the left-hand side. You can't let them go like that, and and look like that. So that's our main objective this year, well, every year, but this year more so. And I was hoping Richard was gonna be here tonight, cause I wanna take him up to East Highgate Cemetery and see if there's any way we can widen the drive in, because when they go in to dig a grave, they almost, the last time he went, they almost, tipped the trailer over. It's gotta be, excuse me, it's gotta be widened. And see what the simplest way of doing it that we can do.
He's supposed to be here sometime tonight, so we stick
Yeah,
around.
I'll just grab him.
If not, we talk to him. Yeah.
I'll just grab him.
Just curious, when you said Champlain Monuments comes out and works on it, I'm not familiar with maintenance on tombstones, but what do they do?
Well, they worked out there, I don't know how many days. What they did is they dug them up and then they pour a base and set them in, depending how old the stones are. I mean, you're talking stones 200 years old, and most of them are limestone, so you gotta be careful how you use those. But they usually dig, put in a base. Sometimes they'll sink the stone into the base. Other times they will take and glue it. You know, if it's granite, they have a special adhesive they use. And some of them are tipped back, they straighten those up. Some of them, the tops come off, so they clean those up and glue them on. You know, it's just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Something you don't normally think about. I didn't. But.
Yeah. Well, the problem is most of these stones are, especially on this one, are 200 plus years old. The families aren't even in. There's no.
Nobody to take care of them. Yeah.
If we don't take care of them, nobody's going to.
And I know years ago when I first started this, the crows were an issue. I think East Highgate, is that still an issue?
The ravens,
Yeah.
I'm knock on wood. Right now they aren't bothering. We put a considerable amount of grubs poison in, and we put, I don't know, I think 2 different treatments on it, and then we tilled it and planted. And Kyle and I dumped, I don't know, it was 2, 3 ton or 4 ton, I guess it was, of lime on it, and so it looks good right now, except for a couple situations, but so far so good. But the ravens are still a problem. They're all over.
Good luck with that. All right. Well, thank you for the update on that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
When they do the fence here, will they leave a man opening on this?
That's why I want to get with Richard, because Keith brought it to my attention that they when they do taps on Memorial Day, that they walk through the cemetery and come through. And I was thinking the same thing. If somebody wants to park over here and can walk through, we're going to put maybe 1, maybe 2 different man areas that you can walk through.
Yeah, I was thinking, I've been to 4th grade.
right out here where that's and one again.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a chain link fence for.
Chain link,
The
same
other
thing as
side.
what's on
Okay.
the other side. And what we're thinking of doing is, rather than going right up the line, as you see over on the other side of the fire station, there's posts in the shrubs where the fence used to go. We're gonna move it 3 feet inside on the other side of the shrubs and start this side of the sign so it doesn't obstruct the view of the sign.
Awesome. Good deal. All right. Thank you.
Okay?
Anybody else on cemetery? All right.
Kevin, while you're talking about fence, did you wanna mention the gate situation for the snow? I know you're not doing that part this year, but just to put a bug in the ear for future?
Well,
I know
from
we
what
talked
I,
about
from
it.
what I understand, at the meeting I was at before, they didn't want a gate, so.
Oh, okay.
So I'm assuming if we give them 3 feet, that's gonna be
That'll
enough.
be enough.
I'm hoping. That's why I wanted to talk with Richard about it too, and see.
With the winters we had lately, yeah, 3 feet's probably plenty.
Yeah.
All right, Shelley,
Hi,
hi, welcome back.
thanks. I did not quit. Check once, in front of me, Vern, to start.
Everybody had a chance to read it, review it.
Make a motion to accept the check warrant.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
All those who say aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Sorry, thank you. All right, Shelley, go ahead.
A couple of things while you're signing that. I did receive an updated Cintas uniform renewal service agreement. I did not forward it to you. The first time I had a chance to look at it was today, and I wanted to compare it to the last one because he assured me it did not change. So, for my own reassurance, and it did not. So the pricing is staying the same for all of the highway uniforms. We have rugs here. We have rugs at the arena. And it sounds like they were going to talk to Christian and Jess about maybe even just bottoms and tops, so they're not getting cleaning and dirty on their regular clothes. That hasn't happened yet, but for today's purposes, they are looking for a signature. You've made a motion for me to sign it in the past. If you would like to sign it yourself today, that's fine. If you want to review it and sign it at the next meeting, that is fine too. It's the same that we've been paying for the last 5 years.
Okay, I'm fine with you signing it.
I'll make a motion.
Please, yeah.
Second.
All those who say aye?
Sign it, yeah.
Is that an aye or a nay from you?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
I
Got it, thank you.
Okay, I will take care of that tomorrow. Delinquent taxes are down $69,735.20. My tax sale list is also shrinking for numerous reasons, but mostly because people are paying or have made payment arrangements. And I have a very short list of, most of the people on this list are in a payment plan. So really my sore area is the Amco Mobile Home Trailer Park. And I don't know what we're gonna do about that. And that is all I have for you, unless you have something more for me.
I do not.
Okay. The fiscal year is coming to an end, and soon again, we will be busy with audit season.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yes.
All right, town clerk, Wendy.
We have minutes from April something, when were we last together? 18th.
Here we go. Got it, yep, April 18th. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes from April 18th of
I'll
everybody's
make a
trust?
motion to accept.
Second.
Thank you.
Tom? Thank you. All those who say aye?
Aye.
Okay, it has been we had the school budget revote on Tuesday. Shelley and I were at the polls for about 14 hours. It was a long day.
Did somebody bring you food and water?
Yes.
I
Okay,
offered-
good.
We were fed and watered, yes we were.
Okay.
Coffee, donuts, you name it. The school budget did fail for the second time. The vote count between the three towns, there was 1,489 ballots cast, which is pathetically low for three towns. 594 yes and 895 no, so it failed by 300 votes. The other question about borrowing in anticipation of taxes, there was 1,487 votes cast and it failed by one vote, 744 to 743. So the school board is meeting on May 7th, which is next Tuesday. I don't know how quickly they'll have a new number and a new date, but we'll probably be back at the polls sometime in June.
I was told by the school board that that meeting is the meeting, and if you want your opinion on what budget issues you have, talk, that's when you're talking about it, so.
I did reach out to Laura, the business manager. Shelley and I have talked about it. This number is so low. I mean, we alone have 2,400 registered voters and 1,489 out of 3 towns. I don't know how to get more people to vote. All 3 towns would have to be on board as well as the school board, but I don't think it could hurt to send a ballot to everybody. Just my opinion.
It doesn't mean it's going to pass, but it does mean that people,
They're just not getting participation.
we're like giving them a chance to participate. All you gotta do is check a box and mail it back.
It's not my decision, but I put it out there that Highgate, we would, all 3 boards would have to be on board to
Right,
send
all
ballots
ballots,
to
yeah.
everyone. But Shelley and I would be willing to do the work. It is a lot of work, but it would also increase participation a lot.
Some people don't even realize, because I remind them myself.
They gotta live under a rock if you didn't know.
Exactly,
that.
it's
I know.
very
I mean,
busy.
it's
What-
on
what
every-
vote?
The ballot is a good
Look.
idea. I work all day, and after I get out of work, I don't wanna go.
I know,
I just
or
wanna
you
go
just
home.
forget, you get home and sit down and you're like,
So there's still the option of absentee ballot, which is
Absolutely.
what I do almost every time now.
Yep,
Because I
and
don't
we
know whether I'll
had-
be here or not, so.
in Highgate, we had 438 people vote. 105 of those were absentee and 333 at the polls. So we did have a fair amount of people vote ahead of time.
And it's so easy, all you gotta do is call you and you'll send one right to our house,
Yes.
for free.
Yes, you just
Yeah.
gotta get it back to me. So that's where we're at with that. I don't know when or what the number's gonna look like, but we will be at it again in June, I'm sure.
May 7th, where at the school?
MVU at 6 o'clock, I think, in the library.
I don't know.
I posted it the other day.
Okay.
It's on the website, the Facebook page. I don't have it in front of me, but
And-
it is May 7th.
They can zoom in, I'm assuming?
Yep, there's a Zoom link. So that was a long day and it didn't pass. So this coming week, May 7th, we do have MVU kiddos coming through for their student government class. They'll be visiting with the town office, spend some time in Public Works and over at Rec. It's part of their curriculum, so they'll be visiting with us that day. We're still trying to get people to license their dogs. We are up to 760, which is a good number. I did send out final reminders today, and Shelby's gonna start writing fines after May 23rd. Green Up Day is this weekend. We started with 300 bags, which is 3 cases. We have maybe 30 left, which is a
Not
good
many
problem
left.
to have. I have a supply at the back door. I'm going to bring the rest from the lobby also out to the back door so people can grab them tomorrow and Saturday. You can bring them full back behind Public Works or leave them roadside for pickup on Monday. And then,
They are gonna pick them up Monday then?
that's what they said.
I've already, some of mine have already been picked up.
Yeah, they'll do a swoop of the town.
I know somebody did 78, I think, picked up.
That might have,
No,
that
but I
was
mean,
you.
picked up the bags, it was.
Oh, picked up the full ones?
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been beach. I don't know. I don't know. Because Nick's been on vacation and then sick, so I don't know if it was us or not.
Okay.
And they were sweeping this week too.
Yeah.
On 78 was V-Trans.
Today was garbage day, could have been Luke.
Could have been. I think, oh, don't forget, we are painting this room and the hallway starting next Saturday, May 11th. Mark will be painting for us on Saturdays and evenings during the week, so I am fully confident that we're gonna have to have our 16th meeting at the arena. I've already booked it, I just wanted to remind everybody. We won't be here.
What color?
Don't know yet. Shelley and I are going to McEwen's next week.
Yes.
It's a date. And I have, yeah, I have Memorial Day under me, but I'd rather have Sharon and or Keith speak about that because I'm not on that committee.
Okay. Y'all set?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you. So we can either go to Keith or Sharon, which?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. First, we are having for our parade, a best decorated bike contest. There are cash and ribbon prizes. The library has agreed to provide decorations and would like to have a pre-parade decorating party. So if you bring your bike, the library will have the decorations and they'll help decorate your bike for you. And there'll be plenty of supplies for you to go to town to make the best bicycle.
Is that the Monday?
That is Monday, the 27th.
Okay.
We also want you to come to our parade as an entry. So if you'd like to be in our parade or with a float or walk in our parade for a group, that would be most welcome.
No politics.
Yeah, no politicians. Fire department's gonna have their barbecue starting at 11. And after the parade, the Highgate Manor has offered to provide live music and light refreshments. So everyone can go over there to carry on with the festivities and check out what they've done for rehab. So that is the two things there. Keith, do you have anything else for the parade or Memorial Day?
Nope.
Okay, Sue will be having her bake sale.
Yes, need baked goods. And Sharon, can you explain where the money goes from the bake sale so people realize?
So the money goes toward the Memorial Day committee, and what we're trying to raise money for right now is lighting, because we'd like to have the flag lit and the memorial lit. We do have some money that's approved in the town budget. And then of course we'll cover the expense of the prizes of the parade and the big.
Donation only, or do you have set stuff?
2 years ago when I did it, I had donations. I had people that gave me money as well, plus baked goods. And that's the year, that was 2 years ago, and we did about $800. We did really well. I had donation, I had money that was donated to me as well.
So where are the donated foods getting brought to?
I'm in the park. I'll be right in the park by 8:30.
8:30, you drop them off it? Okay.
I should be there by 8:30, 8:45.
Okay.
And it's right here in the corner.
Memorial is coming along quite nicely because of your bake sale.
Yes, it is.
I'm happy to do it. I missed it last year. I missed it.
You had a good excuse.
I had a very good excuse. I wasn't walking.
So Highgate Rec is also doing a father-daughter dance called Ties and Tiaras. And it is June 8th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. No, there is not an age limit. So any father could bring any daughter. If you have two daughters, it's $20 for the first father-daughter and 5 additional daughters for any additional daughter. Please reserve your tickets. They are already having a good response in the ticket department, so that's great. There will be snacks, and you'll get your picture taken. So it should be a nice turnout for that. Now back to the plain old stuff. The rec department asked me to bring up their request for playground equipment. So they would like to purchase from Willie Goat, which is the name of a playground equipment company, a Brooks Tower play system for use beside the ball fields outside. They have a system there now that was donated by the Bushy family when there was a death. But our insurance company has told us that that was not commercial grade and we should upgrade. It also gets a tremendous amount of use. There are times there are 45 to 50 children on the playground set. So they're asking to spend $32,500 of their ARPA funds, the $135,000, for this playground set. and they'd like to put a plaque on it in memorial for Mr. Bushy. So to still honor his family for their generous donation. So they're asking for a motion to approve that.
It'll look something like that. Not the actual one, but something like that.
Something like that.
Can I get a motion for the rec department to buy a new play set with ARPA money for $32,500?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Kyle?
Absolutely.
All those who say aye?
Aye.
Motion passed. Awesome.
Okay, we applied for a MERP mini grant for the rec department. And we received it, so we have an additional $4,000 to go toward the arena and energy efficiency. So that'll help us buy, or hopefully help us get an architect to finish up the plans that the rec committee has already started. So hopefully that'll pay for them. So that is here and needs to be signed by Burton. So that's that one.
Alrighty.
So if you make a motion to accept that grant.
Can I get a motion to accept the $4,000 MERP, I like saying that, MERP grant?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, Kyle?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
All right. All those who say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We have had a request made of Richard Flint for a speed limit sign on the Durkee Road at the hill and by Mr. Steve Macy. So Richard is not here tonight, but he did ask me to make sure it was on the agenda. So they want to put the speed limit down to 35 instead of being the normal 65 it is now.
Or 70.
Okay, you're joking, got it.
Yeah,
All right,
just
got it, all right. Do you need a motion for that?
yeah, please.
All right, get a motion to drop the Durkee Road speed limit down to 35. Actually, before we answer, do we need a speed study on that like we do on the other roads?
You should be able to do it in that spot, but I will double check that. So if
Okay.
you wanna make a motion in the event it is okay.
All right, so once again, motion to get the Durkee Road down to 35 miles an hour.
At the hill end,
The hill end, I'm not sure where we're talking about, I'll check it out.
closest to the river.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
all right, Kyle? Got it.
Okay.
All those who say aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
The ARA bid opening is, we're gonna put that off. That's an archaeological resource assessment. I've sent you the copies of the bids that we did receive, but because that's on a sensitive site, that's on the Monument Road at 10:30, the Abenakis had contacted me with some concerns about doing digging on that site. So I did reach out to the state archaeological department and they have been in contact. They are gonna come up and meet with myself and the Abenaki Council to take a look at the site and what needs to be done there. And I have told the Abenaki Council that they are welcome to be a part of the process all the way through so that they can monitor what happens.
Is it in front of my house? Is that where they're looking at?
No, 10:30 at Randall Macy's.
Okay, maybe she's.
And the reason we're doing an archaeological study there is because that's in line for a FEMA home buyout.
Right, right.
So that home is slated to be torn down and have it go back to green grass and part of the original floodplain there. So, so we're gonna wait because the state said maybe that they will do it themselves and pay for it. So we might not need to have a bid. So we'll wait a week or two and see what they say. We have also applied for some additional grants. I've applied for the FEMA 2003 flood slide that we got rejected on. So I've applied for a hazard mitigation grant for that. I've also applied for a FEMA hazard mitigation grant on the Macy Road because we are, number one, short a whole lot of money on that project, and two, if we decide that we need to move the road, there are funds available to do that now, which there were not before. The Village Core Master Plan pole barn, we're gonna skip that because I don't have the figures for you to tell you how much it will cost. But I would like you to make a motion to rescind the motion you made last time concerning the zoning bylaw that we were gonna change that concerned if you didn't meet your conditions of a previous permit, that you wouldn't get a new permit. Our legal opinion was not to do that. That wasn't the proper legal way to do that, that we would have to take them to court. So we are rescinding no.
Okay.
So if you can have a motion.
We're only human.
Yeah.
Yep. Can I get a motion to rescind the one we made, I guess it was the last meeting, for if you ask for more permits when you're not in compliance with your prior permit, we're going to ask to rescind it.
I'll make that motion.
As DRB type permits is what we're talking about. Kyle?
Correct.
Thank you. All those who say aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
A note from the Northwest Rail Trail Council and VTrans. Someone is picking up scrap metal and other possible items that you could hurt yourself if you were to trip or fall on the rail trail, and they're trying to do a good deed by picking it up, but they're dragging it up onto the rail trail, and VTrans gets very upset about that. So if someone sees this broadcast and you know that person is you, please do not do that. We appreciate your help with the green up bags, but please don't bring up any debris that could cause an accident if someone were to fall on it. And Ty, the Rail Trail Council has been looking for you.
I've been in
Okay.
touch with them yesterday.
Okay. Water testing. We have a public water system at the arena. Unfortunately, I received an email on the old town administrator's account that said, you are in violation. So apparently Butch was our person to take the water samples, and his license expired in 2021. So as part of changing that, I need to have this officials contact form, which will need a signature from Vern to get us back on the right track.
Funny, because we've been paying for the testing.
Yeah,
They couldn't tell us that our license was expired?
I can send you the,
Of course not.
We keep bringing it down there every quarter and paying for it.
Yeah, they'll sell money.
Well, we're not in violation of testing, I will make that clear.
Okay, cool.
Oh my. Two different departments.
but we don't have, well, we need a certified tester now too.
So who's that gonna be?
Either myself or somebody on the Public Works can do it. It's just
Nick's
a matter
been
of-
doing it,
Okay.
and Nick, I think, has always done it with Butch.
So the testing's been going good and the water's healthy to drink.
Yes.
Okay, that's all we need to know.
Yeah,
Alright, good.
Just didn't have a license.
Yeah.
Apparently, we just didn't change the name of who's doing it.
They like money, they just.
yeah.
Yeah, he said he would be here.
Okay, and then just for the heck of it, I have some pictures of what's going on at the transfer station. And let's see here, right here. So this is part of the lumber that's coming off this site. It's kind of hard to tell, but let me. But there's quite a lot of lumber on that. It was a very large site. This is the road going down into the station, or down into the brook area. This is the top, which no longer has all those trees. If you stand on the top, that's all you see is just the top of that one excavator. But then, as you look down into the hole, there's a lot more excavators down in there. There are actually a total of 4 down in that hole. As you can see, it is quite a large area. And this is a much better bank that they've built for themselves to get the trucks in and out of the bottom. But it's quite a sight to look down in there.
So, how are they stabilizing the slope by taking away the trees?
They had to take away the trees in order to dig out some of the current soils. And then you see they're bringing in large rock along the side there and all through here. That's all going to be in the bottom channel, and then it's going to be built up at a roughly 45-degree angle to the top of the slope.
All with that big rock?
Not all with the big rock. There are, I think, 3 different types of rock, but it's to keep that base from washing away. And like you said, it's quite a steep drop down in there.
It almost looks like they're building shells.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
When you actually are
It
there.
looks similar to what they did in front of my house. They dug it out, then they put all the rocks in to reinforce. As a matter of fact, the state was just down there a couple weeks ago in front of my house to recheck the bank, and the bank is great.
But they
That's
are
kind of what
doing
they did at Cool's Corners.
Right, right.
they're doing a heck of a job, so.
You gotta
And
get
it's-
down to the
it's a
foundation.
huge job.
Yeah.
Just a huge amount of space to have to fill in.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is very impressive to look at.
This be going on all summer?
Yes. It'll be a 5-month project anyway. They hope to be done in 5 months, but
Is this similar to what they're gonna possibly do on the other side?
well, this is one section. They have a whole nother section that is just like this, closer to the salt shed. So they're, like I said, they're already running 4 huge excavators in there. They're running dump trucks in and out from the bottom up to the top. So yeah, they've got a lot of work to do. I mean, they'll earn their money. There's no doubt.
Good.
But everybody's down there safely. They're getting up safely. So far so good.
Progress on the slopes.
Yes. So that's it for me.
Okay.
Nick said the certificate is hanging on the wall, and he and Butch are certified.
And I'll have to double check it.
Maybe it expired, but he said the certificate is hanging on their wall.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it, make sure.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, anybody else?
What are all the orange flags in the ground at the village core property?
Those are survey lines.
Okay.
So we had Barnard and Jarvis come in and do a survey. So we knew exactly where the property lines were until the post office decided to run over one of them.
Sure, aren't those archaeologists digging? Well, at least what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
did
like-
he? Yeah, no.
There's like 300 little signs
Oh,
like
those
up
are
there.
the archaeological
archaeologists.
phase 1, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
They're finding a lot of ball caps.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Oil
I'm sure
cans.
they are.
Well, yeah, all that.
So yes, that's part of getting to the, what they call a CAP or corrective action plan on that property. So it's part of the Brownsfield work and getting that cleaned up and saleable to Cathedral Square. But yes, the other ones are survey line. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Actually, why you brought it up, how's Cathedral Square going? Good?
They have their designs, they have their wastewater system all designed. They are applying for money left and right and getting some, getting refused for others, but still trudging along the path.
And what about the Mason Property House? Any more interested in restoring or anything like that?
I have not had any bites on that.
Okay. All right.
Airport bids are due tomorrow, so we will know what the airport project will cost us tomorrow. Cross your fingers.
Definitely crossed on that.
Antos?
Huh?
Antos?
I think that's pretty good. Richard, welcome. Just in time. Going down the line, anybody got it? No? Actually, Kevin, your man's here.
I need to hook up with you at some point in time. I wanted to try to expand the driveway up at the East Highgate Cemetery.
Yeah.
And also I want to show you where we're planning on putting a fence out here, this year, hopefully. So if you have a slack moment sometime,
Yeah.
let me know and
Yeah.
we'll hook up.
Okay, sounds good.
Mary's got something.
I just wanted to know where we're at with the library.
The library has decided to put the librarian position back out to bid,
Okay.
or
I
out
know
to
what you
bid,
meant,
but
yeah.
yeah. They were unsuccessful in their first bid to hire a new library director, so they're putting it back out there.
Yeah, it just got posted today.
I saw it, that's what made me think of,
Yeah.
must be they weren't finding any qualified.
Yeah, they did a few interviews, but it didn't pan out.
So in the meantime, everybody's just pitching in.
Yes, Sarah, the part-time person they had, is putting in more hours, and then they've changed their hours as well, so try to make do with what they've got going on.
The asbestos mitigation thing.
The asbestos is gone. That is all cleaned up. Everything is nice and safe. So yes, that all went well. So when you go to executive, please ask Mr. Spears and possibly the couple that's hiding in the hallway.
I'll sign in.
Okay. Got it.
What's that?
Anybody else got anything before we close shopper? Alright. Just, I guess, a PSA, we talked about it earlier in the meeting. Come October, when you get your property bill, you probably heard it's gonna be a little higher than normal. Most of that's gonna be from the school budget. They're having a meeting on this after it failed the second time on May 7th, 6 o'clock. Interview, highly encourage you to participate in the meetings if you can. Definitely vote and educate yourself on what's going on at the school, so you can make educated decisions. Thank you. And with that, I guess we'll close out the regular meeting and have to go in executive with Kevin, Wendy or Shelley, you need to be there? No. Sharon, the board, to include Kyle on Zoom, and the folks in the back here. Thank you very much.